Hey CDA, and welcome back to Winkeltje, the little shop. And to be honest, our shop is no longer very little. We expanded quite a bit in the last episode, and today we are going to expand it even further by taking advantage of a mechanic that we actually completely ignored so far. So, if you look under the special items, you have the mirror, which actually lets you change your character's looks in case that's what you want to do. But more importantly, right now we are looking for the commission board. And you can complete commissions for money, and we like money. So, we are going to put one of those down. So you do actually have to put it in your shop, and it's quite big. So, yeah, I'm not entirely happy about that, necessarily how it looks. It does make sense that it is actually in your shop, though. So, because people actually want to put up commissions. And basically, those are little quests that you can do that give you money. Depending on the complexity of the quest and the reward of the quest, you get more or less money. And all in all, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, the more items are being requested, the more money that you get. It's a significant amount of items, so don't underestimate that. But on the other hand, you also get a significant amount of money in return. There's a deadline attached to that, so you do need to complete it within a certain time frame. Typically, if it's something you're producing anyway, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. For example, this one right here, we can actually instantly complete, so that might be worth it. It will put our commission on a 3-day cooldown. So the way that works, you just accept the commission. In this case, you can say deliver. And commission completed, we get some money, really nice. And now we have to wait 3 more days in order to pick up a new commission. So if I try to accept it now, it says nope, nope, not gonna happen. Now, I actually also locked this door. That's a thing you can do. You can say, hey, lock it for customers or unlock it for customers. Just so to avoid that customers go wandering around. Typically, they won't do that anyway. At least I haven't seen a customer ever going outside or into this room so far. But yeah, it is a thing you can do. Now, let's see, what else can we do? You can actually remove the commission board if you want in between the actual commissions. You can simply remove it and use space for something else. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that, but it is a thing you can do. Now, we actually want some more peel, I think. And to be honest, the gardening shelf looks really nice. Can we take it outside? No, we can't. But we can, for example, that makes sense. Put the garden. Why can't we put it there? Oh, I'm actually in the way myself. There we go. So now we actually maxed out our appeal level by putting out some nice gardening shelves in order to do our gardening. And that also means that we want to go to the menu to unlock a new set so we can upgrade our appeal level. Now, in order to do that, we are going to need 625 silver. We also get some new walls and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure if we're necessarily too interested in that. There is one more thing, though, that we can do. So we can, of course, increase our shop appeal, but you can see you also get a maximum display level that you can level up. Now, what is that? It is actually something I have already been doing. So let's take this random table. You can now see this is a level 2 large elegant table compared to this one, which is just a large elegant table. As you can see, the appeal level of a level 2 table is actually twice as much as a level 1 appeal level, level 1 table. So it's basically a way to increase the appeal of your shop without having to put dozens of items in. You can just upgrade the items that you already have. Now, that doesn't actually apply to everything. Oh, you can actually turn these on and off. Actually, I actually didn't notice. Let's make sure these are always on. Okay, so you can also apparently do that with every little lighting source. Okay. Something else I actually did as well, I actually upgraded our counter. So initially you start out with just this lame counter, and then you can upgrade it as you unlock the levels of your store. So that, again, is a thing that you can do. Now, what we're going to do today is we are once again going to save up some money and expand our shop. Now, one more thing, we actually have cauliflowers now, which we're also planting here. I think our first batch is about to get ready. It's a little finicky now to actually walk outside. How is our cauliflower doing? Yeah, so we have a couple of them coming in one more day. So the game is slowly still giving me new items. The same goes for the stove. We should be close to unlocking the next item. The way you unlock those items, in case you hadn't noticed yet, you have some objectives here on the right, but if you click here, you can actually see what other objectives that you have. So Not just like, not entirely sure why this is red. Okay. Anyway, these are actually the completed ones. So, active. There we go. So these are the quests that you can get. So for example, the best employer, have a happy employee. Previous salary negotiation. So this is kind of like a quest chain that you can do. If you complete it, you get a reward. We have, for example, this also, we have the bread baker. So we actually only have to bake 6 more breads and then we'll get access to some random cheese. Now that's interesting. But we also are now then able to make quiches and so on. We also unlock some cosmetics in case that is something you're interested in. And similarly, basically that you progress through your specific professions just by making stuff. So in this case, if we sell a lot of food, we actually need to sell 2,500 more units. That's really a lot for just a measly 200 silver. But some of them are less insane. So like I said, for the bread one, let's see, we also have one, I think, for growing stuff. Although I don't actually see it at the moment. So we might actually be done because we, of course, we grew a lot of stuff. So the cauliflower might actually be the last one there. But there's also something like place decorations, things like that. So all of that does unlock you new stuff. And that is something you can strive for and kind of give some guidance to what you should be doing next. Now, I'm going to go play for a few more days in order to get some more money. And then we're going to expand our shop even further. Alrighty, so we have quite a bit of silver. I was about to say gold, but it's pretty sure it's silver. We can also accept a new commission. Now, the interesting thing is that sometimes the shorter commissions are actually more interesting. So, for example, right now we have this 3-1, which has cauliflower and blueberries, which are relatively expensive items. So all in all, this would actually cost me... It would actually give me as much profit margin as, say, for example, 3 beans for 100 silver. All in all, it's really worth kind of checking out what you're getting. In this case, we have kind of a rare rank, apprentice rank, I should say, commission, which basically just requires us to get some more lavender. So I'm pretty sure we can do that within 7 days. We have most of it already. So yeah, that should be quite straightforward. Let's see, can we deliver? No, we can't deliver the items that we already have, but we need some more lavender, so that should be fine. I'm overburdened, but we are selling so much during the day that we actually should be fine in that regard. We do want to upgrade our appeal limit, so let's go to the menu, let's select this, and let's unlock this. There we go. And what's the next level? That's 625. Sure, but that's not something we can do right now. We do want to make sure we have some more appeal going. So let's see, what can we do? We can have like a resource shelf. It's interesting. Can we put that on the wall? Maybe next to this one. Maybe. Why not? There we go. 11. We have some money left. Now, once again, you can probably optimize this. I'm not going to do that. But as an optimize that, kind of try to see what gives you the most value for your money in terms of the most appeal. Maybe we can have like a little welcome mat. There we go. I mean, we want our shop to look nice, don't we? I know I do. Some flowers, maybe? Where can we put the flowers? They're actually going to be on the ground? That's a little disappointing. If you put them next to the house, you actually don't get that much bonus. So they need to be in the house to be effective. Maybe not. Maybe not. What else? We actually don't have a trash bin anymore, and that does give you quite a bit of stuff. So let's put that right here in the corner, just in case someone needs to get rid of some trash while they're taking down their commissions or something like that. I think that roleplay kind of works. Let's see. Just to give you the idea of how crazy our shop gets, let's open up. And of course I can't pay my people again. Once again I fail. Oh boy. I keep spending all my money. It's probably best if I keep like 100 in store, just to avoid exactly this from happening, because being overburdened and actually having to restock my shelves myself is going to get really annoying really quickly, I think. Although, to be honest, I think after today we can probably fix our storage issues. And as you can see, I'm selling quite a high amount of items now. So I am going to be not overburdened, hopefully pretty soon. And we are at appeal level 11, so that's also interesting because we are selling stuff at a much higher rate now as well. We are out of lavender and chamomile, apparently. Well, we're not, but you need to restock it. There we go. Now, what you can do, you can actually delete items, which is not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, they're free to produce in our case. You need to be a little bit careful about what exactly it is. But for example, right now we have so much wheat that we are producing on purpose that we can probably afford to delete some of that. Then we can probably also afford to delete some of this because we are mass producing those as well. And then there we go. I actually did miss the merchant, but oh well, there's worse things in the world. Let's actually order some lavender so we can sell that, because we are probably going to have more people asking for that. Am I actually out of artichokes? Really? It's interesting. My delivery is in progress? Oh, yeah, it is. As you can see, right now I have no more issues in terms of being overburdened. Partially because, of course, I deleted a lot of items, but yeah, all in all, it's working pretty well. Let's see, what else do we need? Potatoes, probably. Why? Because we can now make potato soup as well. So let's buy some of that. Let's see if we can plant that actually before the day is over. There we go. And that might actually get us 1 day into that as well. Really? Everyone suddenly wants lavender today? Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that. For the simple reason that I'm out. Although we could order it. Maybe we can make it just in time. While we're at it, let's order some apples as well. You can see the prices are really overpriced, but that's mainly because of the events. But all in all, that should be fine. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to order? How are we on cheese? We still have cheese. How are we on mandrake? We are actually running low on that as well. So let's order all of that. Might as well while we're at it. Okay, well, she bought everything else, and now we can just restock. There we go. What is supposed to go in this table? Cauliflower. Okay. So, as you can see, quite a bit of money. Hopefully we can now also deliver our lavender. It doesn't seem like we have it ready just yet, though. So, once again, it's kind of getting into the routine of just playing for a few days, upgrading your store, etc. What we actually can do, because we do have some money, although we do have to pay our debt. So we're not actually going to expand our money, just going to play a few more days and then we're going to expand. Okay, so it is expansion time. It's a modest expansion this time around because we quite honestly didn't have that much money going on and a couple of things were quite expensive. I now have a tailoring station, which actually allows us to make 4 different types of clothing already. And the reason that we actually start out with 4 different types is because we got some of the unlocks by making other stuff. So there's like cross unlocking depending on what you're doing, depending on which quests you complete, basically. So we can already make 4 items, even though we haven't actually done any tailoring until this point. Now, I actually made another cupboard in here that stores our quiches because we had to put them somewhere. And we are now also selling 1 of each type of clothing. Now, the reason I wanted to go for clothing rather than the alchemy table is that we actually have a quest to sell clothing during autumn, and you get a reward in terms of some of the unlocks for that. So, something else I've started doing is actually opening the shop before I tend to my garden. And the reason I do that is this takes quite a while. And quite honestly, you can kind of do this while the day ticks by. The 2 girls we have hired have no issues whatsoever in keeping our stock completely supplied. We are actually now paying them quite a bit, so we're paying them slightly more actually than what they deserve. Well, at least that was the plan, but apparently she leveled up. And yeah, so this is quite a hefty investment, but all in all, really? Did she just level up again? Yep. Okay. Speaking of which, let's do one thing at a time. So, Lent also wants more money. Apparently, if you mention it, they suddenly want more money. So this should be fine now, and this should also be fine. Okay, so what I was saying was the girls have no issues keeping my stock supplied, and it's because I'm mass producing stuff now anyway. We are now able to kind of just tend to our garden while things happen in our store. Now, either you like that or not, it's kind of like automating your game in a way. So some of you guys like automating in your games, I know that for sure, so yeah, it's either something you really like or it's kind of like passive gameplay to you. So yeah, just saying, it's an option you have. Now, do we need to restock on apples? No, we do need some cheese. It's fairly expensive, but yeah, let's take it anyway. And maybe 1 or 2 apples. It's a pretty decent discount. We actually have some legendary type of items now. They sell for slightly more. Honestly, I haven't really seen that have a huge effect on the game, but yeah, it's something you can do. All in all, we are producing way more than we're actually selling, so that's a thing. And oh, okay, apparently we're harvesting this. That's fine. Let's restock this. And like you can see, most of the day has now passed. We are now kind of doing our thing. Caroline just leveled up. Now she wants even more money. You're already really expensive. Quite honestly, I don't actually know if the rare employees are worth it. If you compare Caroline, who is now level 7, has 144 speed, a carry capacity of 11, so pretty good overall. But Lente actually has a pretty decent speed as well, even though she's just a normal employee, so to speak. And she asks way less for her services than Caroline does. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if these rare people are worth it. We do get like more high quality people all the time. But yeah, like I said, not entirely sure that is all worth it. Yeah, tending to the garden, harvesting something every now and then, especially if I notice we're getting low-ish on that specific item. Do we have artichokes? Yes, we do. Do we have beans? Yes, we do. I leveled up as an employer, so I now attract even more talent. So I'm such an awesome employer. We actually did complete another, what is it? Commission, sorry. The cooldown is quite annoying, so honestly I would prefer it if the cooldown was a little shorter. It's actually quite fun to do the commissions. It gives you something addition to strive for. But yeah, all in all, it's not the most interactive thing if you can only do it once every few days. Now, we do need to make sure we keep cooking. But in order to do that, we need more cheese. Although we actually do have quiches, we have those as well. We need bread. And that should not be a problem considering how much wheat we have. We came prepared for that one. We're actually completely out of this one, so let's make 4 of those. And how are we on vegetable soup? Yeah, fine. We can just make 1. So, how is our clothing selling? It is not, is the answer. Well, that's not entirely true. We sold 2 items, so we can make another shirt, but then we need some wool. And we also sold some wooden shoes, which we can already make. Quite fitting for a Dutch game, wooden shoes. Yes, people actually wear them sometimes, mostly on the outside of the big cities, of course. But it's a thing people do. It's interesting. I actually remember in the town where I grew up, which is not the biggest town in the world, we actually had a wooden shoe shop. So yeah, that was actually a thing. That was an entire shop dedicated to wooden shoes. And no, it wasn't specifically aimed at tourists either. It actually just sold them to the people around in that city. It doesn't exist anymore, sadly, but just an interesting thing. All right. I think this is enough for now for this episode. I'm gonna play a little bit further ahead because, as you can see, it does get, well, not necessarily repetitive because honestly I'm having a lot of fun. It's just not the most engaging gameplay just to see me go through the motions every time and slowly expanding. So I think in the next episode, I'll just kind of jump ahead and show you what a real big shop looks like. Alright, and if you're still here, you're awesome. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.